Welcome back to the Wendi Show, where we fuel your faith, strengthen your body, and sharpen your mind. I'm Wendi Earlbeck, registered dietitian, sports nutritionist, author, coach. I wanted to do a quick bonus episode today because sleep is king and nutrition is queen. And yes, I am a dietitian, but sleep drives our appetite, our testosterone levels. It affects every single thing that we do, our interactions, our communication. And so I think that sleep is critical, and I cannot wait until next Monday to record. And so I wanted to share a little bit today about the quality of sleep and how much sleep we need. Why is sleep important for our appetite, mood, focus, concentration, hormone function, immune system, recovery, and overall performance? Because I had a group of athletes rather, that have prioritized a sleep goal and they've been absolutely crushing it. They've been reducing their screen time. They felt better. They have time for breakfast in the morning. And as a result, they're experiencing PRs. And so that's why I could not wait to talk about this episode. And so we're going to dive right on in. Sleep is treated like an inconvenience. Sleep matters. Let's start with the data. 70% of high school athletes are not getting enough sleep. Student athletes who regularly sleep less than 8 hours per night are 1.7 times more likely to get injured, fatigue faster. Meanwhile, professional athletes do the opposite. There's so much amazing data to support professional athletes getting more sleep. In fact, I actually put together a slide on my Instagram to show you just how much sleep some of our professional athletes are getting. LeBron James gets anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of sleep. He knows that recovery matters. Venus Williams, 10 plus hours of sleep, especially during competitive seasons. Tom Brady, we all know that he has a very strict sleep schedule. He is in bed incredibly early and he is getting over 9 hours of sleep. Curry incorporates naps into his day. He also increases his sleep quality. He has better energy, focus, execution in his skills. This is well documented and well reported that had less than 7 hours of sleep and had higher risk of injury, specifically college basketball players who increased. What does the data say in adults? 2011 study found that less sleep was associated with 45% higher risk of coronary heart disease within 70 to 75 years. 45-year-olds who sleep less than 6 hours per night are 200% more likely to have a heart attack or stroke during their lifetime compared to someone that sleeps 7 to 8 hours per night. A 60-year-old who sleeps 5 hours or less per night has a 32% higher risk of heart disease. The data is very clear in not only athletes, but active adults that sleep is king and nutrition is queen. Because if we are not sleeping enough, we will have less focus, less energy, less strength, less power. Our performance output declines. We experience fatigue at a faster rate. And I'm not just talking about athletic performance. I'm talking about in the boardroom with your family. If you are a parent, you are somebody that has a shorter fuse and you experience frustration, it's likely due to lack of sleep. And I know you're probably thinking, no, it's because my kids are driving me crazy. The reality is, I've actually worked with a number of clients and families that when they get sleep and they eat better, they tend to be less prone to frustration, anger, and even outbursts. And so I've had a lot of people report to me directly that they are less prone to losing their cool in the car, traffic, little things don't upset them. And that is a really great thing because sleep obviously has a direct influence on our reaction time, our mood, our anxiety, our depression. And so if you're getting less hours of sleep per night, that is something that you can control. You can start going to bed 30 minutes earlier. You can add in maybe a 15 or 20-minute nap if you can. But the data is also very clear that we do want to get more sleep before midnight. Deeper sleep shows that you have a better recovery, less insulin sensitivity, and your wake up time is much easier. We also have better testosterone levels. Now, muscle protein synthesis, muscle recovery, absolutely affected by our testosterone levels. And so signs that your bedtime is too late, well, you need caffeine to function. You feel groggy. You feel irritable in the mornings. You have cravings for sugar or carbohydrates, foods rich in calories but low in nutrients. You have trouble falling asleep despite exhaustion. Sleep insomnia is a challenge for many, but often if you are consuming caffeine later in the day, you're eating too many carbohydrates, you're eating a large meal too close to bed, that can also negatively affect your sleep quality. And we know that sleep impacts our cognitive function, including our judgment, our focus, our decision making. And so that can be the difference in a game won or a game lost, or it can be the difference in making more money, having a slam dunk in a presentation. The fact of the matter is, most adults are not getting enough sleep. And we know that the data is incredibly robust in even pro athletes. We have data from Tom Brady, his recovery time, as I mentioned earlier. We have LeBron James, he's getting anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of sleep per night. He increases his naps during the day because that helps with his recovery, longevity, and overall performance. Now, if you're someone that says, I just can't get to sleep, why don't you check your habits during the day? As I have my athletes and clients track your nutrition. What are you eating? What are you drinking? What's your mood like? How heavy is your workload? Because we know that you're likely stressed before you go to bed. And so a big part of cooling down for the day and unwinding is journaling, reading, praying, talking to the Lord. He tells us to put our burdens on him and to obviously cast our burdens on him because he cares for us and got us up all night anyway. And so he can listen to us. He can help us. He can fight our battles while we sleep. And so if you are trying to get up by 5:30 in the morning, your ideal bedtime would be between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. If your wake up time is 6 a.m., your bedtime should be 9 to 10 p.m., 6:30 a.m. wake up, bedtime of 9:30 to 10:30, and then 7 a.m., definitely want to be in bed by 10:30. Put your phone away before bed. You should not be scrolling social media. I always tell people, never stay up late for something that you would not get up early for. And so if you wouldn't get up at 4:30 in the morning to scroll TikTok or check the news, you shouldn't be staying up till 2 a.m. to do so. To be your strongest, healthiest, best self, you need proper sleep so that you can eat well, you can train well, you can feel good throughout your day. Sleep plays such a vital role in our appetite regulation, muscle growth, recovery, illness prevention, mental health, focus, and learning. And so we know too that people that are sleep deprived, they consume an average of 300 extra calories per day. That increases cortisol, decreases testosterone, growth hormone, IGF-1. Those are critical for muscle growth, muscle recovery, longevity. And again, our reaction time and our decision making suffer when we get poor sleep. And so you want to make sure that you are absolutely prioritizing between 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night, according to the National Sleep Foundation and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine for teens. Student athletes should aim for 9 to 11, as I say. Yet, 7 out of 10 high school athletes fall short. Collegiate athletes average less than 7 hours per night. We know that many even get less than 5 hours. This increases your risk of disease, poor endurance, impaired learning, mood changes, depression, anxiety, higher stress, poor academic performance. Even just one weekend of poor sleep can negatively impact your performance into Monday and Tuesday. And so this is critical for people because they think that the weekend is the best time to stay up, eat junk food, not do the basics, which is take care of your sleep. Sleep is a controllable. Again, it directly influences our speed, power, strength, and performance output. And so sleep should be your primary goal on the weekend, in addition to prepping your meals. And it's just so incredibly important that you prioritize sleep because I know for a fact that nobody wants to lose muscle, lose gains, lose recovery, perform poorly, lose their scholarship, lose their ability to focus at their job. There's so many variables that come in, and sleep is our ability to clear out the plaque at night while we're sleeping. And so if you've ever read about how important sleep is, you know that it also, lack of sleep increases our risk for Alzheimer's, dementia. And I think it's so incredible that we can actually increase our creatine monohydrate supplementation on our sleep deprived days. Say you sleep like garbage, which has happened to many of us, especially if you're traveling, you're in a hotel. Whenever I travel, I increase my creatine from 5 grams to 7 to 10 grams daily because I'm not getting as much meat in. I'm also not getting the best sleep. And so Creatine monohydrate has offset some of the cognitive deficits that occur with sleep deprivation. Plus, it helps recycle ATP, right, which is the energy currency for the cell. And it's so exciting because there are so many benefits to creatine, and we can increase our creatine, which helps offset that sleep deprivation. And so, prioritizing sleep is discipline. It requires you to put your phone away, to stop scrolling, and to increase your stewardship, choosing rest over overtraining. Never stay up late for something you wouldn't get up early for. It's so important that you have a sleep routine, non negotiable, right? Cut caffeine by noon, sleep in a dark, cold room, get outside daily. If you are taking naps, a 20-minute nap is perfect. Don't sleep any more than that. Go to bed and wake up at the same time, and absolutely avoid melatonin. I don't believe anyone should be taking melatonin. There's a lot of data that it actually disrupts your sleep, and we don't want to take something synthetic. If anything, creatine monohydrate or magnesium can be a great supplement to help with sleep deprivation, sleep quality. And so, as we close today, sleep is king and nutrition is queen. I wanted to do this show before next Monday because I have been working so closely with several high school and college athletes on their sleep routine. I have them pull open their phone and they show me their screen time, and they tell me that they're on their TikTok, for example, for over 5 hours a day, yet they can't get 6 to 7 hours consistently of sleep. And so what we've been doing is setting a screen time goal. They get less than 3 hours on social media, and then they get a extra hour of sleep. And this has actually been working out really well. And especially when I showed them the data of speed, power, strength, performance output, go look at my sleep and nutrition article on my website, nutritionwithwendy.com. I lay out all the data specifically for so many sports, specifically tennis, baseball, track and field, swim, on how it actually does affect our performance. And it's incredible too for basketball, football players. I mean, you look at football players, they've been able to shave off 0.2 seconds off their 40-yard dash. Basketball players improving their three-point percent average by 9%. Incredible, right? Male and female swimmers extending their sleep to 10 hours saw improvements in their reaction time off the diving blocks. Both male and female swimmers improved turn times, kick strokes, and their 15-meter sprint. That's incredible. Again, sleep is free. We don't even have to pay for it. Isn't that awesome? Well, in fact, you would pay for it if you don't get enough of it, right? There is a sleep debt that a lot of us have. And so that's why I'm so passionate about sleep. And it's one of the number one things I talk about whenever I present to a team. We talk about nutrition, we talk about the performance plate, but we also talk about sleep, because sleep deprived student athletes are also more likely to drink and drive. Short term and long term sleep deprivation lowers your endurance. If you're a runner, a cyclist, suicidal ideation, depression all increase with sleep deprivation. Less than 6 to 7 hours, folks. That's a big deal, because most people, like I said, are walking around sleep deprived. They don't understand that gains are made in the kitchen and getting enough sleep. And so you train so incredibly hard. And if you are not getting the hours in while you're also putting the reps in the weight room, don't expect to get bigger, faster, stronger, right? Sleep is king and nutrition is queen. So go read that article, share this out with people, continue to follow. We're going to continue to talk about topics like this on the Wendi Earlbeck Show every single Monday. And I'll definitely be doing bonus segments in between, especially when something comes up. I think right now a lot of athletes are struggling with their sleep because they're staying up late, scrolling social media, drinking energy drinks. That's a whole nother topic for another show, but please go look at that. I also have all of the data citing the studies for pro athletes and sleep on my Instagram as well, nutritionwithwendy.com. Thank you so much for listening today. As always, stay healthy, stay fueled, and keep your eyes on the Lord.